So it's time, it's Saturday, it's the weekend. Everybody's got plans. Some of you are planning to relax. I want to talk about rituals. I want to talk about like things that you do that you feel really comforted by and that you really can't let go of. And I remember a long time ago when I was a rower, my coach was like, I just don't I don't appreciate things like rituals, like marriage and everything. And I just think that's so not me. And she's like, and then I realized every morning at 6 a.m. I get on the water, which is like a ritual, right? So we all have these habits, these things that we do that are part of our routine. And I believe those routine things that we do provide some stability. And that's why, in a lot of ways, COVID was not destructive just as the physical threat, but more as a mental threat where people who were really in tune with their rituals all of a sudden were like, instead of like that, it was, and they didn't know how to handle it. Maybe you didn't know how to handle it, right? And if you are an adaptable, self-aware person, what you would have done is you would have gone into creativity mode to try and figure out how to work around the rules and regulations without getting caught, or some other form of dealing with your own need to feel stability by adhering to rules, but also being able to take care of yourself, right? Because if you think about it, the whole idea of sitting in your apartment and getting stuck behind a computer screen or sitting in front of your television and think that that was going to make you mentally healthy, that's not accurate. And so it might have kept you physically healthy, but there was a price to pay because you can't sit on a couch for long without, I don't think most people can, without going a little batty, right? So, and then on top of that, with all the stuff that we were afraid of, there was this aspect of people's routines and their rituals. And that thing that you did every day at 8:22, you picked up your cup of coffee. Every day at 8:45, you dropped off your kid. Every day at 9 o'clock, you arrived at work. And all of a sudden it was like, ah. And people were freaked out and people didn't know how to handle it because people fundamentally don't handle change well. And, you add something like a pandemic and a whole bunch of things that we've never dealt with in our lifetime. And it was pretty wacky, right? So that being said, moving forward, trying to move forward, trying to get one's mindset back into routines that are comfortable, stable, helpful, but not controlled. Right? Because you don't want to do anything that's good for you in a way that's bad for you. I mean, why do I want to exercise like a nut job and be like, oh, but I'm healthy? But then, for example, if I can't get to the gym or I show up and the pool's closed, I'm like, how could you close the pool on me? What are you thinking? Right? I can't live like that. That's not, actually, it's kind of crazy, but I was going to come up with a more polite word like, oh, it's not exactly like emotionally balanced. But no, that's fucking psycho, right? For me to show up at the club and be like, oh, I can't swim because the pool's closed. That's just some nasty entitled shit. So anyway, back to balance, because we are talking about emotional balance, because we're talking about power. And the power is for me to like get out of my head and think, like get out of this crazy thinking about what I think I need to be okay and how everybody needs to act a certain way so that I could be okay, that I could do this, that, and that in exact tempo and time in a certain kind of a way every day for me to be okay. There's no such thing. Life isn't like that. The world doesn't work like that. Just when you think you've got a routine and it's all working out well, something's going to come in and disrupt it. And if you don't have the mental capacity or the emotional balance to deal with disruptions to your routine, you don't have power, right? You don't have power because you can't switch, you can't adapt, you can't let go of control or let go of results. And life is about letting go of control. Power isn't in controlling or needing to be in charge. Power is in surrender. Like you take the actions that you can control. You stay out of your head, which tells you all kinds of things about what you can control and should be afraid of. And then you quote unquote, move towards, lean into the idea that whatever the results are, they're going to work out for your benefit. They're going to work out better than you planned. And I know that there are people watching this that don't believe that. That you got like this motor running all day long with like all kinds of fears and shit that's going to disrupt your routine, that's going to make you a little crazy. I mean, it's kind of what's happening a lot around here. And I get it. And I also get the fact that I don't have to live like that. And I don't want to stay there when my mind goes there. So if you're the kind of person who has trouble losing power, when you lose control because of what goes on in your head and all the fears that start spinning, then you should message me or give me a holler at Nicole Devlin. And don't forget, if you're a woman, we're going to be talking about how to become more powerful at work in a free webinar Thursday, September 22nd. And you can register at the link in the description. Thanks a lot for joining me for a little bit of time on Saturday, and hope you all have a nice weekend.